Good morning and welcome, children, in today's session of the English classroom for class 12. As we have started the lesson Evans, Tries and O level, in my first session, part 1, we have discussed the first part of the development and the progress of the story, how Evans expressed his wish to appear for an old German O-level exam, what were the preparation, what were the preparation in the Oxford jail, prison, okay, and what are the steps taken by the governor, precautions taken, okay, how he appointed new security officers and everything. So the next part, in the part 2, we'll continue with the next part of our text. So let's start. Evans Tries an O level, part 2 by Colin Dexter. So dramatis personae, we will discuss once again the character, the secretary of the examination board, the governor of HM prison, Oxford, James Evans, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Stephens, they are the prison officers, the Reverend Stuart McLeary and Invigilator. Up to these, all the characters, actually you have been introduced with these characters. You know all these characters, okay? And Mr. Carter and Mr. Bell will get later on. Now the theme of the lesson. What is the theme? The story Evans Tries an O level, written by Colin Dexter, is an interesting story depicting how a prisoner called James Evans befools all the officers of the prison to escape under a well laid out plan. Despite the best efforts of the prison authorities, Evans is able to escape. This is the theme of the lesson. Now we'll see the recapitulation of part 1. Whatever we have done in part 1, quickly we'll recapitulate and then after we'll proceed further. Evans has escaped from the prison 3 times. That's why he is called Evans the Break by the police officials. Evans, keen to acquire academic qualification, O-level test in German. The governor conceded to his request, arranged with the examination boards to hold the examination in Evans' cell in the prison itself. A person from St. Mary Mag Church appointed as the invigilator. The governor takes precautions. Jackson, a senior prison officer, to search Evans' cells. Another prison officer to stay inside the cell till the examination. That was being decided by them. The governor set a microphone. Okay, the microphone was set inside the prison cell of Evans so that every conversation can be heard by him. Evans wore a filthy hat, refused to remove it, considered lucky hat, and Jackson allowed him to wear it. Invigilator Reverend Stuart McLeary, a person at 8:45, he arrived a.m., left his hostel, arrived at the gate, prison, led to Evans' cell, and he was introduced to Evans. So this much we have seen in part 1. Now we'll continue with the text as usual, because text is very, very important. You must have to have the knowledge of the text. Okay, so as we have seen in the text, how far have we done? We have seen that the invigilator who was being appointed by the board, Mr. McLeary, Reverend Stuart McLeary, who was being appointed, he came and he was being checked thoroughly by the security officers. Who were the security officers? Here, Jackson and Stephen, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Stephens. Now they found a few things along with him. They actually, he has given the reason also why he has brought everything. Okay, now 2 hours examination was scheduled to start at 9:15 a.m. So this much we have done. Now after that we have seen that both of them were busy. Actually everyone, Governor Evans was a headache. Actually is a kind of headache for the governor when he proposed to have the examination at that time, actually he was not very happy, but still his actually Ivan's presence was a kind of nagging matter for the governor. So governor had taken every step so that he cannot break the jail once again. So we'll see a little bit conversation here. Jackson put in a brief final appearance. Behave yourself, lady. This is what he told Evans. Okay, and Evans turned and nodded. In this way, a few conversation were there where he warned actually what are the things he must have to do in front of the invigilator so that the exam could be conducted smoothly. Now we'll go a little bit further. We'll see that yeah, not a very neat job, considered Jackson. They don't honestly think I'm going to try to. They are taking no chances. Evans, nobody in his senses would take any chance with you. Okay. Now he said what that nobody wants to take any chance with you because you broke jail thrice and this is the fourth time. Maybe you are planning for that. Who is going to listen in? Okay. I'll tell you who is going to listen in. It's the governor himself. See, he doesn't trust you a bloody inch, and nor do I. I will be watching you like a hawk, Evans. So keep your nose clean and clear. So very clear instruction given by the security officer, that you must have to behave yourself, and help us to conduct the exam smoothly. Finally, we'll see just one more thing. Einstein actually he addressed Evans as Einstein. Yeah, what's that? Good luck, old son. In the little lodge just inside the prison's main gate, the Reverend Stuart McLeary signed his name neatly in the visitor's book. That's the custom they must have to maintain for the security purpose. Okay, and hence walked side by side with the silent prison officer across the exercise yard to D wing, where he was greeted by Jackson. The wing's heavy outer door was unlocked and locked behind them, the heavy inner door, the same, and McLeary was handed into Stephen's keeping. Now, McLeary was being handed to Stephen's keeping now as he's going to stay for another 3 years here. Get the razor, murmured Jackson. Stephen nodded. Well, keep your eyes skinned, clear. So in this way, actually, they were giving all sorts of warning that he shouldn't take any sharp something with him inside the prison cell. Okay, then Evans, facing the door, sat quietly at the farther of the two table. His whole attention riveted to a textbook of the elementary German grammar. Stephens took the key from its ring and the cell lock sprang back with a thudded metallic twang sound. It was 9:10 a.m. when Governor switched on the receiver. He had instructed Jackson to tell Evans of the temporary little precautions that was only fair. Now, again, Governor, called him, Jackson, and instructed him to give all the necessary precautions and instruction to be given to Evans. Yeah. How on earth was Evans going to try anything on that? Now, actually, as he talked, actually, he was very much worried with the examination of Evan, the governor, isn't it? That's why he was thinking as if Evans would not spot it. But wasn't it at all a bit theatrical, schoolboyish almost? How on earth was Evans going to try anything on today? He was thinking, okay, and give reason to himself, convincing himself that he's not going to break the jail once again. If he was so anxious to make another break, why in heaven's name hadn't he tried it from the recreational block where security was less? So that's what he was trying to convince himself. Actually, he was very much worried with this exam. Anyway, it wouldn't be any trouble at all to have the receiver turned on for the next couple of hours or so that he can hear what was going on inside that cell. Okay. Might even try to take advantage of McCleary, get him to smuggle in a chisel or two, or a rope ladder. Now he was thinking that I must have to, take all precautions, because he may keep something sharp with him and make McCleary hostage. So that's what he was thinking. The governor sat up sharply. It was all very well getting rid of any potential weapon that Evans could have used, but what about McCleary? What if, quite unwittingly, the innocent McCleary had, brought in something himself, a jackknife perhaps, and what if Evans held him hostage with such a weapon? Now he was thinking that we are taking the things, sharp things from Evans, but maybe McCleary had brought something innocently, some knife or something to cut the paper, or everything, something which is required for the examination purpose. So maybe with the help of that, he may make Ivan might make McCleary hostage. In this way, he will try to break the jail. So this type of thinking were going on in the mind of governor. Governor was really very much disturbed. The governor reached to the phone. It was 9:12 a.m. Okay, the examinee and the invigilator had already been introduced to Stephens when Jackson came back and shouted to McCleary, "Through the cell door. Can you come outside a minute, sir?" "You too, Stephens." Now, Jackson quickly explained the governor's worries, and McCleary patiently held out his arms at shoulder level whilst Jackson slightly frisked his clothes. "Something hard, hard here, sir." So actually, as the governor said, that you check Mr. McCleary, maybe that he brought something innocently, and Ivan might may take the advantage of that, isn't it? And that's why they instructed, and accordingly they wanted to take once more the frisking of McCleary. In the meantime, what happens is, yeah, so we'll see next. Yes, now carefully passed his palms along with, while searching, he was searching the frisking the things, carefully passed his palms along their surfaces and seemed satisfied. Okay, but one thing, one of the object in McCleary's suitcase was puzzling him sorely. Something he found in McCleary's suitcase which puzzled him actually. "Do you mind telling me why you have brought this, sir?" He held a smallish semi-inflated rubber ring. A semi-inflated rubber ring was there. Okay. Actually, why he brought that, do you know? He brought that, McCleary brought that because that was being filled with the pig's blood with some chemical so that it doesn't, clot. Okay. Actually, this McCleary was one of the accomplice of Ivan. It was he was the friend of Ivan. He has impersonated himself as the original McCleary, and has entered there as an invigilator. Okay, actually he was not so. He brought that semi-inflated rubber filled with blood actually, but that was not visible from outside, and that actually has puzzled the security officer, and he asked him. Okay, he asked that why he had brought, and what the explanation is given. You see, yes, you must know I suffer from hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids means piles problem. Okay, and when I am sitting down for any longer time, he said I cannot sit for a long time. That's why I must have to bring this one. Sometime I used to sit on that. "Very sorry, sir. I didn't mean to err." The embarrassment was still reddening Jackson's cheek. Jackson was very much felt, embarrassed after asking that question, so that McCleary had to answer in that way. Actually, they were considering McCleary a very respectable person. He is being termed as Reverend McCleary. He was a person, PARS1 person from St. Mary Mag. He was really respectable person. That's why he was talking in that way. It was 9:18 a.m. before the governor heard their voices again. Now, what was that matter of talk, or what was that, we'll see. And it was clear that examination was going to be more than a little late in getting underway. McCleary, you have got a watch? Yes, sir. I will be telling you when to start, and again when you have 5 minutes left. All right. Then there was silence. There's a plenty more of this writing paper should you need it. Now McCleary said, now write the name of the paper, exam is going to start. Okay, write the name of the paper, then 0 to 1 dash 1, this is in the top left corner he is instructing him to write. Then silence. Then McCleary, in the top right hand corner write your index number 313. Okay, and in the box just below that write your center number 271. Right, McCleary instructed to write. Okay, he wrote everything, and then after Evans. At that time, what happened? Stephen was inside. Mr. Jackson was sitting inside. One security officer. They planned what, that one of them will sit inside the cell and another will sit outside the gate of that cell, so that there is no chance, to escape. Now Evans said, what? How am I supposed to concentrate on my exam with someone breathing down my neck? Christ, sorry, sir, I didn't mean. Now Ivan said, how can I write if someone is there just standing near to me? Actually, he was objecting the appearance or the presence of the security officer inside the cell. Now what happened? See, the governor reached for the phone. Jackson, actually governor was listening every conversation. Why? That microphone was being set inside that cell. He was listening everything. Okay, sitting there. So he heard everything, and now he ordered. He called. Okay, he after listening he called Jackson. Good. Get Stephen out of that cell. Will you? I think we are perhaps overdoing things. Now governor thought what? That they are overdoing things. थोड़ा ज़्यादा कर रहे लोग, is it? And that's why I said what? It's not necessary. Ask Stephen to come out of the cell. You as you wish, sir. The governor heard the exchanges in the cell, then heard the door clang once more, and heard McCleary announce that the examination had begun at last. It was 9:25. Remember the time examination started at 9:25, and there was a great calm. At 9:40 a.m. the examination board rang up. From examination board, one call came. Okay, the assistant secretary with special responsibility for modern language asked to speak the governor. The examination had already started, no doubt, a quarter of an hour ago. Now the governor informed that it started at quarter, means 15 minutes. Just before that, the call came at 9:40. Actually, that the person who called from the examination board also won a compliance friend of Evans. Okay, he needed to know the exact time of, the exact time when the exam was started. So that's why he called. Now he got the information that the exam started at 9:25. As the governor said that just a quarter, means 15 minutes before the exam started. The examination had already started, no doubt, a quarter an hour ago. Yes, well, there was a correction slip which some fool had forgotten to place in the examination package. Very brief. Could the governor please? So he said that one correction slip was there that was being, by mistake, that was being not placed in that box. Can you please, make that correction? Will you please stop writing a while? Then McCleary, as the information given to McCleary, 2 minutes later, he heard some a whispered communication in the cell. Who heard? The governor, because he had set that microphone and was listening every conversation inside that cell. And then McCleary's board Scott's voice. Will you please stop writing a while, Mr. Evans, and listen carefully? Candidates offering German 0 to 1 should note the following correction. On page 3, line 15, the fourth word should be goldenen, not golden, and the whole phrase will therefore read zum goldenen Loven, not zum golden Loven. I will repeat that. So this much will do. See what is the correction, that it's not zum instead of some golden lion, it should be golden and lion. Actually, what was the purpose of that correction? To know the time and to give the information that where to go after escaping from the jail, where it is Golden Lion Hotel. That will get later on. So this much we have done, and we will see now the what we have learned. We will see a little bit, okay, the what we have done till now. Okay, so quickly we will have the revision of the part that we have done till now. Invigilator McCleary investigated. The governor suspected. The invigilator rang up to Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson checked. Any weapon was there, suitcase, but nothing was there. McCleary had a small semi-inflated rubber ring, explained, suffered from hemorrhoids. Secret of the rubber ring: actually the blood rubber ring contained pig's blood, later used to pretend that the invigilator was wounded to fool the jailer. The real McCleary was tied and gagged in his flat. That we'll get later on. Now examination started. Evans instructed to write the index number 313 and the center number 271. Jailer Stephen was to be inside the cell, but Evans asked him to stay out. Stephen keenly watches through peephole. Then after correction, what was the correction there? Correction in the question paper. At 9:40 a.m., the governor called about error in the question paper. Jackson informed, conveyed to the invigilator, the Golden Lion was the correction. That Golden and Lion. So that was the correction that we have said. Okay, thank you very much. We have done this much, and I want that children, you go through this video, watch the video very meticulously, and you may call me later on, okay, for any kind of queries, and do the assignments which are being given along with this video. Thank you very much. Looking for the next class, part 3.